remember that time clearly, in August of 2016, when I was 3 months to 6. My father and I walked out of the principal's office. "I'm so sorry that you can't go to the primary school tomorrow. This means that I have to stay at a boring kindergarten for another year." Going to primary school for me has been a dream for a long time, for me in the kindergarten. And that dream had just shattered by that sentence. I was able to recognize more than 2,000 characters, also having a great math basic skills. And also, I was taller than another 7-year-old, but I was not yet 6 years old, which is the only reason that I did not go to the primary school at the year I want. And that was a huge blow for a kid that time want to marry the science future. And I started to ask myself over and over again, was there anything performed not perfect in the interview from the principal? Or did my kindergarten teacher just discover that I had stolen haiku stuffs? I wasn't able to answer my questions, and it was a great knot in my stomach for a long time. I was held back a year and saw those from my class going to the next year, and while I stayed with people much younger than me. This just broke my heart and crushed my self-confidence, and at that time, I felt like every day was a waste of time. Many years later, I learned about the art of kintsugi at a new school with good friends. In kintsugi, broken pottery is not discarded, but with gold, creating a new masterpiece that celebrates its imperfections. This art forms reverse breakage and repair as a part of an object's history, not to disguise, but to highlight, which inspired me a lot. It's an embodiment of resilience, a tribute to the beauty that comes from healing, and a poignant metaphor for the human condition, which reminds me of the time that I was rejected. I still had to accept the fact that I would be going to school 1 year later than I wanted to, and I avoid talking about this because I still feel kind of uncomfortable. And it was like a wound that had been sutured, but not totally healed. I always comfort myself by saying, my grades are the best, so what did I have to worry about? However, I think it's still like the pain that always drums out my memory. But until now, I finally realized that those experiences that occasionally jump off those dead memories and attack me, of course, they can be thrown out into the rubbish bin, but also they can be reassembled, not hiding any scars, and becoming the shiniest one. In 2022, I was in the second semester of year 5. My father asked me that if I would like to skip year 6 if I'm given the chance. When I started to think this suggestion seriously, I realized that I had the other ways, options, and opportunities to fix the wish that was broken years ago. I didn't hesitate a second and said, coming in. I started to find out that having a 6 year is not necessary for me, and skipping year 6 even offered me the chance to study more advanced courses. So then I started to study courses for higher years levels every night with a great commitment. But sadly, the textbook does not look really good because I really got limited times. However, with my extremely willingness to study the physics in the middle school, I overcame that by doing more practice tests. And for this, I sacrificed at least an hour of my time daily, which was the thing that I cherished in my life the most. So, I did not graduate from the primary school, and I gave up to keep living in this school with full of memories. Well, but then I went to year 7. This decision was not just about breaking free from the traditional education path. It's about seeking an environment that could truly challenge and stimulate me to improve. But also, this decision came with its own set of puzzles. The sudden transition was daunting, and I often found myself grappling with the stress of school and the fear of missing out the experience that my peers have. My peers were forming the genuine friendships during those formative years, celebrating the milestones like their last sports days or the graduation ceremony, all of which I had to skip. Furthermore, even the conversations seems to be more related, while mostly focusing on sharing experiences and age-specific interests, while I have nothing to share. But surprisingly, that I found like-minded individuals who shared my passion and drive, arguing passionately about solutions of homework, laughing at the hallway really loudly in a strange way, and also being proof together. By taking the initiative to detach from my surrounding environment, I discovered a setting that is more suitable for me, one where I can thrive and continue to grow. When accidents and unpredictable events happen, no matter how big or small, happen in our lives, they don't signify the end of our usefulness. Instead, things become more interesting after those events happened. Life always gives you some gift in some ways that you cannot predict. If something went wrong or you messed something up, then just accept the gift and make it the best mess you've done. A detention in school might spark your future prospects, or at very least, you can buy meals easily by avoiding the peak meal times. One more year in kindergarten can be a year that for developing more interesting skills, and a period of an extremely stressful study schedule may boost your ability to increase your confidence. Each crack in our lives tells a story. Each line maps our growth, and every golden seam shows the strengths gained from overcoming. No one gets their plan for their whole lives, and the whole world works in an unpredictable way. But this could be the best arrangement. If the kintsugi teaches us to find the beauty in our brokenness, my experience urges me to find the strength in our self-imposed fractures, and to initiate change is to embark on a voyage of self-discovery. When life overcomes you, teach it a lesson by reshaping it. I made a decision to go to the year 9 when I had the 2 months left to year 8. Breaking the shackles and rules is just the only way for growth for me. So why don't I actively pursue this growth? I stopped to think. So I took further acceleration to move it from year 7 to year 9. This time I felt a little bit different. I wasn't as overwhelmed as before because I was on a familiar path. But this time I was flying a spaceship rather than driving a car. I really felt that I found the pace I really like. And I finished 1 year of maths and physics in shortly 2 months. It was like a surprise street fight between science and me, but also holding the bar and cheering at the same time. While on vacation, I need to absorb as much knowledge as I can and do the practice tests over and over again, which initially consumed me a lot of my energy, but also keeping my brain brainstorming every day. And the life containing science and math is worth paying for this because this is the life I really want. Yet like the golden lacquer that bonds the broken pieces of the pottery, each moment of the gaining knowledge bonded the fragments of my experience into something greater, in an essence characterized by courage, tenacity, and an unyielding thirst for knowledge. History tells us the ancient Japanese did not merely repair, they innovated. They saw in the broken remnants of the cherished pottery not the end, but a beginning. So what I see is that I have experienced not the end of my childhood, but also the beginning of a future unrestrained by the ordinary, a future resplendent with possibilities, a future that has greater room for development. The essence of who we are flourishes under the task of self-improved praise. By stepping outside of my own comfort zone, I have gained a deeper understanding of my capabilities. To conclude that the profound lessons of kintsugi can transcend the confines of art and becoming guiding ethics for living. We all have the ability to apply the golden maker of transformation to ourselves. It requires us to be brave, to embrace our imperfections, and to see in every breakage the opportunity for creating a more intricate and resilient version of ourselves. As the ancient art of the kintsugi has shown us, it is through breaking that we begin. It is in mending that we find our beauty, and it is in the transformation that we truly flourishes. Thank you.